So I've been wanting to do this video for a long time. I think it was about probably a month or two ago now. Ryan Quellet did a little bit of a teaser about a Freestyle 1 watt VTX inside of an Impulse RC Apex. And most of us, of course, have been running things like this right here, which, of course, is the Impulse RC Apex HD. And you can see we had the full 30x30 stack, Hdzero VTX in the back, 1 watt. This, of course, was the HD version with the wider plate and all of that kind of stuff. Big, heavy, bulky, all that. But then the Evo came out. So what do we got to say about the Evo? Let's talk about it now. I'm Chad. This is the Dorky and 40 RC channel. Welcome back, everybody. Appreciate you being here. Right off the bat, I don't really think there's a whole lot that I can add about an actual Evo and whether you should buy one or not. They've been out for quite a while, and a lot of YouTubers have done a lot of reviews about them, but I'm going to tell you my opinions about these things, especially when it comes to Hdzero. So the good thing about it is hopefully that 1 watt is going to fit inside here, and considering seeing what we have saw, it should fit inside this quad. At least I'm hoping. But if not, we're good. So right now I've got the Race 3 VTX inside there, 90 hertz camera, which fits a little bit weird with the Evo mounts that are inside there. You could probably shim it out a little bit more, but it's okay. The newest Nano 90 actually came with kind of like a rubber gasket that like goes around it. You can still kind of tilt the camera a little bit. I always get kind of nervous tightening up these screws a little bit too much on the sides as well, because the Nano 90, you know, it's kind of a weird shape, and I really don't want to like destroy the thing. So the whole thing about the Evo, of course, is that it's built for Mr. Steele. He designed it with everything that he runs and all that stuff. Now, you're supposed to have an O3 unit in here and various different kind of things. And I'll just tell you that, you know, that definitely makes the build a lot easier. But this is probably the best built quad that I've ever done in my years and years of FPV. And my main focus on this thing was getting the weight down, because the whole point of having a quad like this is not having it fly around at like 700 and some grams like my old Apex HD did. So this actual setup here, which we've got the V3, as I said, 20x20 stack. This is the Mr. Steele Edition kit, which you save a couple grams in screws. Most of the screws are for the motors, which don't even fit through the actual bottom skids in the actual aluminum. So what's the point of having Coyote Brown skids if the screws that are supposed to go in the Mr. Steele kit don't even fit through? So I just used to whatever, and I like the black and the way it looks. Like the arm guards, using those 20x20 Foxier stack inside there for everything. You know, everything I could do to save a little bit of weight. And with a GoPro Hero Bones, I know not very many people do, and the other key piece to save another 23 grams off of this build, the Lunar Lander Thunder Power battery. They're $48 a piece. I bought 3 of them. With that on here and everything sitting as it is with the Hero Bones, I am at 646 grams. Now, we all know, some of us know, Kebab FPV. He used to always preach, definitely keep your quad as light as possible. 620, 630 is where he'd like to build the glide. Steele used to actually say the exact same thing, but he's definitely changed a little bit. He kind of flies an analog quad that doesn't weigh a whole lot. He says with a GoPro, it weighs around 600 and some grams. I would really like to see how he does that. I don't really know. It's been a while since I've seen an actual build video on an Evo. I think he did a Dead Cat or something. But the only way that I can get this thing below 600 grams is to throw my Insta360 Go 3 on it, which is fine for me when it comes to collecting video, because I don't really share a whole lot of it anyway. But even, you know, an FPV freestyle quad, especially like this Evo, deserves a GoPro. So I'll settle with the 650. And I've got, you know, these are like the V3 or V4 steels or something on here. And, you know, he's even compromised on his motor size. He's went with a larger motor to accommodate a more heavier quad. So it kind of seems like things are kind of evolving that way to get a little bit heavier, but that's just not where I'm at. I am trying to get lighter. When you get this quad this light at 600 grams, even at 650 compared to the way that thing flew at 706, 707, it is just a night and day difference, like what you can do with your PIDs, what you can do with your filtering, your rates. The entire experience is just different. And when you can really get the quads that focused and light and razor sharp, that's when you really start to notice things like the geometry that's built into this, which it is the original True X geometry. And I mean, I know, you know, every quad is pretty much doing stuff this way now, but there's just something about, you know, the Apex, the Evo, the way it just fills itself out, and the balance of everything, it just flies incredibly well. Even for somebody that might not be as good of a flyer and be able to notice the differences, if you build this thing light enough, you're going to be good. The one thing that the steel version did come with that I'm not sure if you can buy separately is this freaking GoPro mount screw right here. This thing only weighs like 2 grams, where your regular ones can weigh up to like 13, 14 grams. So just having that, and if you wanted to blow your money on a Thunder Power battery, you can knock 30 grams off of the weight of your quad. I would probably go for that than before I would worry about buying the Mr. Steel Edition, which is going to come with a lot of hardware, honestly, that you're not going to even use. And you can make up the weight difference again by doing like 2 screws in each motor. I could show you guys some flight footage, but everybody knows how these things fly, and everybody's flight footage is going to look different. But I can tell you that even though I'm not a super big 5-inch fan anymore, I'm definitely more into like FPV 4-ride, 4-inch 3S type of stuff. Like, I love that actual setup. It's my favorite flying quad. It's back there. And of course, like the tiny trainers and stuff, I don't really fly a whole lot of 5-inch freestyle, but it had been a while since I'd done any kind of update or anything, and I really wanted to get hyped for the 1-watt Hdzero VTX. The one other thing that I have tried on it since I got the Nano 90 camera is the 540p60 with this. And hey, with 540p60, even at 200 milliwatts, this thing can cruise pretty good. I've done one risky flight over all my cornfields out here, but when the corn comes down and we could retrieve things a little bit easier in case things go down, we'll do maybe a little bit more. And by then, maybe that 1-watt freestyle will be out. The other cool thing that the Apex comes with, which I really like, the Evo, is this antenna mount. And if you want to run a diversity on it, you could actually get another one and put it somewhere else. They do come with a new 3D printed mount. So this is just an SMA UFL going down in there. And then I've got just some heat shrink tubing and some electrical tape. It looks okay. It doesn't look the best, whatever. This is the power adapter for the GoPro to plug into the balance port connector. And, you know, I went with the Velcro, one strap to save weight. And then, of course, we've got our actual XT60 coming off of the side here as short as possible out of the prop line. Unlike when I built the HD, you can see I've got that big old honking thing on there. And then the capacitor is actually, you can see it right here, mounted on a 3D printed mount. There's plenty of space up here in front of the flight controller to put your capacitor, your extra MIPI wire, and then of course your receiver for Express LRS, Crossfire, anything like that. I've been flying the Mango Losi props on it. Definitely like those props. At 650, I think it's definitely good. If I take this off and put the Go 3 on, the responsiveness of the lower pitched 3.3 PB&Js are just freaking perfect for me. So there you go. That's another review of the Apex Evo, just a little bit more slanted toward Hdzero, and you know, yeah, like a normal person's build and not like an actual '03 Mr. Steel build or something. We'll see you guys later on with another FPV video. So peace.